As we're transitioning to Imelda, I just wanted to point out that I've been monitoring the chat window, and all 200 of you who have tuned in, you've got the Vice President of Student Affairs responding to your questions. You've got your Director of Enrollment Services, Michelle Pena. You've got your Director of Financial Aid, Jennifer Aitchen. You've got your Director of Student Life, Nikki Damania, along with Leslie Bond, the Director of Student Success and Equity, all taking care of your questions in the chat box. When I was reading it, I just felt like saying again, we are, after all, BC. With that, I give you Imelda.
Forgot to unmute, sorry. Thank you, Sonia. So this is Imelda Valdez. I am currently overseeing programs such as EOP&S, Care for Single Parents, CalWorks. Next up for our foster students, AB 540 and undocumented. We also have remote programs, CalSOAP, serving high schools, and foster and kinship care education, serving our foster youth caregivers in our community. So our area has already started with our online module, our virtual office. All of our faculty, counselors, and advisors started working from home on Friday, and they are planning to work from home again this Monday. And all of this weekend, we've been working diligently to make sure we're correcting any issues that they came across on Friday, so that hopefully once this really happens, we're ready to go. All of our appointments are now being converted into a virtual appointment. So what we are using for our appointments is a program called Connects Ed. It's a platform called Connects Ed by Cranium Cafe. So Cranium Cafe is not new to BC. This was actually first introduced to me when we were still doing transfer, making it happen through CalSOAP here at BC by Jenny Peters. And I saw that she was on the call. And so through Connects Ed, Cranium Cafe, there are two types of, there's several types of services you can do. The one-to-one we do through regular Cranium Cafe, one-to-one counseling. And then there are classrooms and there are breakout rooms where students can break out into smaller groups to discuss assignments and other things within that classroom. So for EOP&S, we have regulations that we have to follow. So in thinking about how we are going to go virtual and continue to provide those services that we provide our students, we really had to think about everything that we do. So some of those would be our counseling one-to-one, and then we do have small groups and large groups as well. The EOP&S has a 3 contacts requirement. So this is a regulation for us. And so it's quite important. Our appointments are scheduled. Our counselors see our students every 30 minutes with breaks in between for them to be able to do their prep time, their case management, their notes on Banner and Starfish, and follow up with students. And then we're continuing through the classroom feature, the life skills workshops. Our new student orientations will continue through that. We usually provide a week-long priority registration fest to prepare our students for priority registration day. Those will also be through Cranium Cafe using classrooms. Other resources that we provide usually are book vouchers. So we've already given out all our book vouchers for this semester, but if it does come to a time when we have to provide books again, we are looking at ebooks, transportation support, gas card, and bus passes. We're going to give those out for the rest of the semester already to our students. Grants are still going to be offered through financial aid. We have a good system going with our financial aid office here on campus. So that's already virtual. Emergency housing for our Next Up foster students will still be offered through financial aid. So that's already virtual. Our mid-meetings, usually for our returning students, have been replaced with Google Survey, where they can take a quiz afterwards to show us that they've still remember the information. The university trips were all canceled, replaced with virtual college tours. And our progress reports were already on Starfish, so we're in a good place there. For this particular slide, you can see that there is accountability on Cranium Cafe. You can see that a few of my advisors and counselors are logged on. The admin, the director, the managers, they will be able to see who's online, offline, and away from their desk. And this is compared with their Starfish scheduling. So we can actually see, since our counselors are scheduled every 30 minutes with prep and case management time, there's really not a lot of room for leaving the chair. We have such amazing people in our department. Our counselors have been working at this Cranium Cafe actually since last year. So two of our leads, I want to thank Angelica Vasquez and Vanessa Bell. They've been working very, very hard to train our staff. They took classes to prepare for this. So we've been offering our Cranium Cafe counseling for some time, which put us in a good place during our situation today. Let's see what else. So other requirements we usually have our application mutual responsibility contract with our students, our CSEPs. They have to be signed. So Cranium Cafe gives us that ability to get signatures from students. And you can see it's very small. I apologize. Connix Ed, there's different types of user groups. Your admin, your director, your group manager can see more. Faculty, staff are assigned their own. The front desk agent has their own access. And then the students. Guests don't have access. We can go to the next slide. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this? Oh, just really quick on the Cranium Cafe, there are email notifications. So once we schedule a student, a notification will go out letting them know that they've been scheduled on certain days. And it also provides some type of reminders for their counseling meeting. The counselors are usually notified. So there's a counseling lobby once the student checks in. The email that goes out to students, it has a link. So if they just click on that and they get to check into their counseling appointment, they go into the counselor's lobby. So the counselor will then be notified to let them know that this Maria has just joined your scheduled cafe meeting, so that they know that there's students already waiting for them. So there's meeting room, there's opportunities to share in these sessions. So if they wanted to show the CSEP that they're working on so that the student has a visual, they can do that through this group. As soon as the student logs in, they'll get a message that the counselor will be with them shortly, gives them what they will need for this appointment, a list of that, and that reminding them to be properly attired. We've had in some of our testing where students came on not properly attired. So we do remind them that this is a regular counseling session, as if you're meeting with the counselor face-to-face. It is a video chat, so that's kind of how we have it set up. Let's see what else. Okay, so for the classroom, I mentioned earlier, there are also breakout rooms for smaller groups. So the classroom can be offered up to 50 students. And there are smaller breakout groups for if that's needed in any of the sessions. All right, so before I go on to show you, talk about Sling, I do want to also say that all of our staff members, our counselors are connected throughout the day. We've all set up our Google Voice app so we can call and text our students. Reminders and anything else that we need to do in case our phones, that way we're not using our cell phones. The Confer Zoom is being used as a help desk lobby, so different meetings with management, counselors and advisors, classified student support. That's a real-time support we can provide our staff. So we are still working virtually. We're still seeing each other. If a student's done with their assignment, they can come and say, Mel, we're done. What else can I do? So that's kind of how we do it already in our office. All staff meetings will be conducted through that. We have our counseling case management that's scheduled that will be conducted through Confer Zoom as well. Our CalSOAP workshops are at high schools. Our FKCE caregiver classes are all being converted into webinars, ITVs, and of course, we're going to use our BC emails as well. This is Sling. So Sling is how we're going to track all of our classified hourly and our student assistants who will be working from home. So Sling is a employee scheduling and accountability tracking. So employees work location can be set. So if we set it from home, they can only clock in and out from home. And then notifications are sent to supervisors once the student clocks in and when they clock out. If they haven't clocked out or if they haven't clocked in, those notifications get sent to supervisors. Schedule reminders are sent to employees. The greatest thing about this is it's a mobile app, so employees can actually, and supervisors can actually access all of this and monitor everything through their phone. And then there's a report that you can use as a backup. Managers can use as a backup when they're approving banner timesheets. It's color coded, as you can see. So when students are calling sick or they request for vacation days or staff, or they're taking breaks, lunches, work, and then their working hours, they're all color coded. So it's nicely, it's nice to see. So administrators, the supervisors can also view and update all shifts of employees at any time. Let's see here. And again, we're using Confer Zoom as a help desk lobby for our staff to support our staff. We have emails we provided. All of our website has been updated. It's going to go up with the updates tomorrow. And all of the emails by program emails and phone numbers are now added on there. And we are closely monitoring our department emails to also provide that support for students.